student made a request that I shoot a video talking about the rotator cuff, particularly infraspinatus. This is one of my favorite muscles to work on. I find it notoriously problematic in a large number of people. The muscle on the rotator cuff, infraspinatus, infra meaning below, spine, spinatus, meaning below the spine of the scapula. This muscle exists below the bony ridge on the shoulder blade. So it's down here. If you reach underneath your armpit and touch right on top of your shoulder, it's right here. When people have a problem with this muscle, this does not hurt. They often are completely unaware of this. What they will feel is pain in their shoulder and sometimes down their arm. This was the first true trigger point that I ever discovered on myself. I had a horrible problem with my left arm. I'm left-handed. I had a very physical job where I was overworking my rotator cuff, particularly infraspinatus, and it took me several months to figure out what was going on. I had an incessant ache down this arm, couldn't figure out what was causing it, knew anatomy, physiology, was trying to figure it out, and just discovered it on my own. But the easiest way I found to work on this is to have people work on it themselves. I can certainly work on someone. People often find it extremely tender. It is highly dysfunctional in a large number of people, and part of that reason is because of this. If you put your fingers on your shoulder blade and have your arm down at your side, you can see that the muscle is relaxed. If you press into the muscle below the spine of the scapula and lift your arm, you'll see that the muscle contracts. If you lift it higher, you see that it contracts more. So anytime I have my arms out, the rotator cuff, particularly infraspinatus, is contracted. So when I drive a car, when I use a computer, when I do anything, if I hang sheetrock, if I sort packages in a mailroom, anything that has me with my arms out for prolonged periods of time means that I'm contracting this muscle chronically. That is why so many people have a problem with it. The easiest way I found to work on it is with a tennis ball, a baseball, or a golf ball. Keep in mind, I have a baseball and a golf ball here. These are very firm. I've had to build up to be able to use these. You can start with a tennis ball. If this is too firm, if it's too much pressure, just fold a rag or a towel over it. I'm going to lie down with the golf ball to show you how I do this. And what I will do is I lay back and I find this spot on my shoulder blade and I will gently roll on and then around this area. There is no damage that you will do. I found a very good sweet spot there for me. And usually I have clients with their arm down to start. You can have the knees bent, you can have the legs extended, doesn't matter. I can always change my leverage and body pressure because I'm trying to find the sweet sort of tender spot. Sometimes, if the trigger points in this area, in infraspinatus, are very bad, they're going to feel it running down their arm. You simply hold, sit, wait, take very deep breaths through your nose, and as you exhale, allow your body to sink down onto the golf ball. When you feel those trigger points release, you can slowly begin to lift the arm, which is going to gently contract the muscle and change the positioning. This becomes gradually more intense, and then slowly the person will bend at the arm, at the elbow, and have their arm come up and overhead. If this is too much pressure, you can put a pillow underneath the arm to support it, to be able to work on this. Using a tennis ball, a golf ball, or a baseball, you can modify the pressure that is placed here. This area can become inordinately sore after this work. Like I said, it's abnormally tight. Clients do not often like when I find it, which I do all the time, because it's tender, it's intense, it's fairly painful. When the rotator cuff is dysfunctioning, people have pain down the arm that's almost inexplicable to them. I often feel that when I work on my rotator cuff, not only do I have more range of motion in my shoulder, because the rotator cuff rotates the humerus. So, the rotator cuff for infraspinatus is down here, and these fibers all go right into the head of the humerus. People will often feel the pain in the front of the shoulder. When you release it, when you open up the rotator cuff, I tell people it feels like their angel wings are open because their shoulders feel free and mobile on their upper back. They don't feel stuck and glued down like their wings can't open out and up. Infraspinatus, below the spine of the scapula. Try this out. Even if you don't think you have particular problems with your rotator cuff, try it just to see. Infraspinatus, again, there are several trigger points in the area. You can roll through anything on top of the shoulder blade. You're not going to do damage. You simply go slow at your own pace. You breathe. You're pressing into muscle on top of the shoulder blade. Lots of people. If anyone tells me when they say they're having something in their arm hurts, and I ask them to show me what's going on, what hurts, what movements, if they start to lift their arm like this and say this hurts, it's almost always infraspinatus because they are contracting that muscle when they lift their shoulder. Swimmers also, because of the arm movements that they make, chronically overwork that area. So, infraspinatus, trigger point therapy. It's much easier to do this with lying down with a tool like a golf ball or a baseball than it is to reach my arm over because I'd have to hold pressure with this hand and arm. I can do it to someone else fairly easily, although again it's very tender and you must go slow. I'll see you again soon on robertgardnerwellness.com.